Hi, in today's lesson we'll go over the chromatic scale. As you recall, in our last lesson we learned the chromatic scale, and I realize that it can be a little complicated for some to learn it, and we really want to make sure that we have it mastered. And so I'm going to give you a few tips, or maybe another way of thinking of the chromatic scale. In quick review, chromatic scale encompasses all 12 notes that are on the staff, and so each note is separated by what we call 1/2 step. So we're going to play all the notes, all 12 notes, and the importance of the chromatic scale is can't be overstressed, because that's how we navigate around the harmonica when we're trying to play by ear. We're trying to find a note in a scale. We know that we have a wrong note in a tune or something, and we're trying to find that note. We have to know the chromatic scale so that we can climb and descend until we find the correct note. And so it's important that we learn that. So, simple way to think of the chromatic scale. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 note, a 4-hole repeating sequence on a 12-hole chromatic harmonica, and every 4 holes will repeat. Okay, so each one will take up 1 octave. So whether I will use the term 1 to represent hole 1, but in all actuality that could be hole 5, or it could be hole 9 as well. So 12, 11, 10, 9 right there, 9. So when I say hole 1, just as I describe that pattern, understand that we could use that on the upper 2 octaves as well. So that makes it simple, right? So we can play the chromatic scale and continue repeating. Once we learn it on the low octave, we have it on the other octaves as well. So let's think about this. So on hole 1, if you remember, let's play the first part of the chromatic scale. 1 blow, slide out. 1 blow, slide in. 1 draw, slide out. 1 draw, slide in. I'm going to do it again. 1 blow, slide out. 1 blow, slide in. 1 draw, slide out. 1 draw, slide in. So those are the first 4 notes of the chromatic scale, and there's only 12, so we've already learned 1/3 of it with a very simple pattern. If we skip over to hole 3, let's pass over hole 2. So we're going to hit that note right there, hole 3. We have the same sequence of 4 notes on hole 3. Hole 3 blow, slide out. Hole 3 blow, slide in. Hole 3 draw, slide out. Hole 3 draw, slide in. So 2 of our 4 holes have the same repeating sequence of blow, slide out, blow, slide in, draw, slide out, draw, slide in. So right there you've learned 8 of the 12 notes of the chromatic scale if you can learn just those 2 holes. So let's move now from hole 1 to hole 2. So it's a little trickier, and I'll admit that, but let's go to hole 2. We're going to start with hole 1, and we're going to move over to hole 2. Straight blow. All right, blow hole 2. Then blow 2 with slide in. Let's start over again. Blow 2, slide out. Blow 2, slide in. And then draw 2, slide out. It's the same note. That can be a little tricky. So what we have out of the 4 notes in hole 2, we have 2 notes that are the same. So you can actually, we just have to learn to omit one of those so that we stay in the sequence of our chromatic scale. So for purposes of this lesson, we're going to play blow 2, slide out. We're going to play blow 2, slide out. Blow 2, slide in. draw 2, slide out, slide in. Blow 2, slide in. Draw 2, slide in. Now, if you choose to play it the other way, that's quite all right. That's just the way I'm teaching it. But either one of those works, and it's important that we know that. So now we've learned hole 2, so we know that we have the same sequence in hole 1 and 3, and now we've learned 2, 3 notes there, so we have 4 plus 3 is 7, plus another 4 is 11. So we've really almost got that mastered. So let's, once again, we start out with hole 2, blow, hole 2, blow, slide in, hole 2, draw, slide out, slide in. So let's start on hole 1. And then we land on hole 3. So once again, we have 4 notes in hole 1, 4 notes in hole 3, 3 notes in hole 2, and then we're just left with hole 4. And hole 4 has 1 note, and we start all over. And that's the draw 4. Hole 4 has 1 note. That's all we got to learn on hole 4. So play slowly. That was a little fast. Playing slowly. So when we play that last note, there are adjacent notes there, and so we can play that as either a 4-hole blow, or we can start at hole 5 and play the blow. They're the same note. They're adjacent. So that's just another way to kind of break down the chromatic scale. Let's play it together slowly, and then maybe I'll speed it up a little bit. So remember, as we come off hole 3, which has the last note is just a draw note on hole 4. So if we think about it, 1 and 3 are the same. Hole 2 has 3 notes, and hole 4 only has 1. So if we kind of break it down, it might make it a little bit easier to learn it. So I'm going to play the chromatic scale, ascending and descending, a couple times, and we'll finish up. There I went into 2 octaves. So anyhow, once again, very important that we learn the chromatic scale so we can know all notes on the chromatic harmonica. Thank you for tuning in on today's lesson on the chromatic scale. I'm Greg Jones with 1623 Custom Harmonicas.